Hi, my name is Brandon, and over the past year, the Delight Cafe team and I traveled across the U.S. researching this rapidly growing industry of CBD products. What we have found throughout the industry were products that were inconsistent in dosage and used ingredients that weren't even lab tested. Products with chalky textures, bitter aftertaste, and worst of all, confusion among the CBD consumers. That's why we created Delight Cafe. A 15 milligram lab-tested, all-natural, water-soluble hemp CBD powder pack. It's odorless, colorless, and tasteless. Add it to your favorite drink of choice, wherever, whenever, on the go. Quickly find your calm, your balance, and your delight when you need it most.
Good morning. Good morning. Java Delight will uplift you. Stay tuned. The show is about to begin. Grab your coffee. Stay tuned. This show is about to begin.
What's going on, everybody? How are we doing this morning? My name is Gavin Kerr, and I am here today by the most wonderful, delightful, calm, and balanced man that I know, Brendan Croucher. How you doing, buddy?
Good, buddy. I'm trying to see which background I like better back there. Which one do you like better? I feel like if I go fast enough, it's a strobe show for everybody.
Warning to those who have epilepsy.
Very true. Very true. So, how are you, my friend? How are you've been busy lately? You and I've been running around, but you've been picking up some side jobs, doing some good stuff. How is Mr. Gavin Kerr doing this morning?
I'm sore this morning, and I'm also cold. I turned on my air conditioner for the first time in all summer. I've just had the windows open, and it was extremely hot the other day, and so I decided to I decided to turn my air conditioner on, and I woke up like all cold, and I didn't want to get out of bed, and I was all comfy. And then on top of that, I did construction all yesterday in Lakewood with the LGBT community, ripping out walls and then carrying them down a couple flights of stairs all day. So it was fun, but I'm really sore.
I thought they hired a wrecking crew to come in and do stuff. Are you just doing like side stuff?
They were gonna hire somebody, but then they're like, you know what? It's not that dangerous, and this is easier than we thought it was gonna be, so we're just gonna do it ourselves. They're false walls. It's not like I'm not like ripping out drywall, although I could, but that's not what we're doing. It's they're wooden panels. There's a brick wall, and then there's 2x4s, and then there are these huge panels that are nailed to these 2x4s. And so we're ripping those panels off and then carrying them downstairs. And it's not like very difficult, but there's quite a bit of stairs to get up and down. And then on top of that, each panel weighs probably, 25, 30 pounds. So not like a whole lot, but enough you feel it after 3 hours.
Oh, I'm sure. Sure.
It was a lot of grip strength for me. And then a lot of back and shoulders that I was using.
I'm sure. Sorry, I have my phone here today, and apparently there's a glitch, and I can't turn the volume off. Like at all.
On your phone?
I have the volume completely turned off, but it's giving me feedback. So I'm just turning off my phone for when we go work out. Sorry about that, guys. If you're getting feedback, that's my fault, and I apologize.
I heard it very, very faintly in the background. I was like, okay.
Right? Like I'm sitting here going, that's not right. Why is it making these weird noises? And then I logged in and this morning it was working and then it shut off, turned back on, and now I have nothing. Like it just literally like a video sitting there and I hear your voice, but neither of us are moving.
Interesting.
Thank you. I thought the same thing. So today is going to be a fun day, isn't it?
I mean, on the show or just in general?
Both. I think today's going to be a great day. We have a great guest. Do you know anything about our guest today?
I do not.
Ooh, her name is Elizabeth Yarnell. Okay.
I love that name, Elizabeth.
Dude, she's been diagnosed with multiple sclerosis. Do you know anything about MS?
I've heard of it before, but I've never actually looked into it.
So she has had it since the age of 30, and that's young. Has been spent 20 years studying how to manage her autoimmunity naturally and traditional naturopath. She worked with hundreds of MS and other autoimmune sufferers in their nationwide clinic using unique, personalized natural therapies to help them slow or even reverse their course of their disease. She's been a TEDx speaker, award-winning author whose cookbook sold more than 60,000 copies. She's a patented inventor. She's been on Stewart Radio. She's been in Good Housekeeping and many other outlets. If you know anybody with MS, today would be the day to literally hit them up. My fiance has MS. Thank you, Neil, for being here. For real. MS is a very serious disease that a lot of people don't realize how much it really does affect you. It's like a person with MS can suffer from many different things, from vision loss, pain, fatigue, impaired coordinations, many different symptoms, and it's difficult to live with. It's a disease it's an immune disease that has a lot of ways of making you have to be able to really fix yourself, take care of yourself, but the doctors are still working with figuring out more and more about it. So this is going to be a fun conversation. We're going to learn a lot today. Good morning, Mike. Good morning, Brian. Good morning, Neil. Good morning, Jessica. Good morning, Brian. Sorry, I saw all the names and I just went.
You're good. You just went very out of nowhere. You were in a very nice, fluent conversation, and then just boop, squirrel.
You know how I am. And then the other thing is today, my sister, it's her birthday, my middle sister, Veronica. So I already sent her a happy birthday song and sang completely out of tune, like I do, as loud as I could, made her laugh. We call the family at midnight. It's a tradition in my house, my family's house. We call at midnight on the day of, and everybody sings happy birthday. It's a race to be the first one. Here's the fun thing. My mom, my dad, my youngest sister, and her boyfriend are all in Texas for my sister's birthday today. Okay. Yeah, fun, nice, cool thing. Here's the funny thing about that. I called at midnight, and I was the only one that got her at midnight. She was like, yeah, everybody else is sitting in the other room talking. And when I called, she was the only. She answered, and she's like, your sister's trying to beat you here. She's walking in now. And I go, happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you. And I start singing. And she's like, you win. So
that's awesome. That's a fun
thing. My spoon is too big. I don't know what it means.
I don't know what that means either.
I don't know what a spoon is too big.
And he capitalized too. It's a really, really big spoon.
A spoon is meant to be too big.
It's too big.
Yeah, it's too big. You need that.
Yeah.
So,
oh my God, this spoon is huge.
So today, Joe will not be joining us. I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Fuck Joe will not be here. He broke a tooth and needs to see a dentist. He's in some pain.
How did he break his tooth?
He grinds his teeth.
Ooh.
100%.
Yeah, that's bad. I actually I remember waking up in the middle of the night a couple times to Crystal, when she and I were together. She would grind her teeth at night, and I ended up having her get a mouth guard just for that reason, because she cracked a tooth. Oh my God, I wonder if that's why she cracked one of her back teeth once while eating something, and I bet that it was weak and soft because she grinds her teeth.
I have a tooth that I had to have pulled because I grind my teeth in my sleep. And do you want to know how it broke? Eating bread. I had a piece of bread, not even toasted, bro. Like literally a piece of bread. I was going to make a sandwich. I broke it, threw it in. I was eating it. And then all of a sudden I'm like, why is this bread hard?
Oh my God.
And I look down and I'm like, oh crap. Yeah, that was bad. Like if you've never had a broken tooth, they kind of like royally suck.
I've had a broken one when I was little. I can't remember how it broke though. But it was not a fun time.
Have you ever lost a tooth?
Have I ever lost a tooth?
Like you got hit and none of your adult teeth broke out?
Oh, no, I've not had the pleasure of that horrible experience yet.
Me either. I just was curious. It's one of those things where in my head I'm like, I wonder. But yeah, so tonight we actually have a really good guest coming up as well for the H. We have a Nobel Prize winner, or Nobel Prize nominee, going to be on the show this evening talking about peace, fun, and how he's up for the Nobel Peace Prize in 2021. I'm kind of a little bit ecstatic about this interview today because we have a TED Talk and a Nobel Prize speaker in the same day. Yeah. Needless to say, my nervousness is like through the roof, but my excitement is even more. So guys, do us a favor and don't forget to tune in. So Mike says he's a banana, and I'm very grateful for that banana. He's always peeling away. And then
he's a banana with a big spoon.
Mike, I'm feeling fat and sassy today, he says. I'm sorry, that was a good one. Brett Gordon says he grinds his teeth while sleeping and broke a molar. So I wear a child's football mouth guard when I sleep. So luckily, even though Joe's not here today, we are having Air Force veteran and not doing a push-up champion, Brett Gordon, on for us today, and he's going to work us out as Joe. So today we get to actually have some fun, and we get to have Brett Gordon, or Fuck Brett as his name's going to be called today. He is going to be our workout, our workout champion today. And I'm grateful that Brett's going to be here to make us work and make us get into shape. And he knows the workout already. We talked about it. The Breakthrough Show is calling out, oh my God, Squirrel says, as a woman that has had birthed 6 children, your reference is highly inaccurate. See? I don't know what you were. I see what she's. Never mind. We're not going back and reading Brian Tracy's comment. I see it now. Brett has done his service. Now he gets to sit back and be a sergeant. The big toe. Oh, I love it.
Yep.
So, and then Mike Herzog says he's going to be the Queen of France one day. I'm rooting for that. You have my vote. I personally think you're going to look absolutely stunning with a crown on. Gavin has been wearing his crown.
I can get you a crown if you would like. My guest last night at 12:30 a.m. I did a Between the Notes episode with Parabola West was her name. Absolutely wonderful episode. Oh my God, we talked about so many different things. We talked about all about her and her music, but then our conversation also steered away from quantum physics to sliding into DMs with unsolicited pictures to it was a hell of a show. Like, in all honesty, if it wasn't going on 2:30 in the morning by the time we were done, I probably would have talked to her for another hour and a half. It was an absolute pleasure. But she handcrafts wands and crowns that she sells on her website. So, Mike, we can definitely get you a handcrafted crown going on.
Would she send one to the show just to have Mike wear it, and then we take a picture of it and use it for your intro?
I'm sure she would. I can definitely talk with her about it.
I want to see. I think that crown should be something we have like visible all around us.
She and I have started an email thread. This is also the first email thread that I've ever had in my life, where like an actual like conversation back and forth. Yeah, pretty much. And so she and I have started one where we're just gonna send each other like shower thoughts and theories on life, and just like, oh, you got to watch the episode. We talked about so much fun stuff. But
when are you dropping this episode? Because you did 2 yesterday, and you don't usually drop 2 in a row. So you're gonna have like a backup one. When do you hope to drop this one?
So I was supposed to have 2 yesterday. The one I had to reschedule to later today. So I'm gonna the one that I did last night, I'm going to release that later today, after the show. And then today I will be doing the reshoots, the rescheduled one. And then I'll probably release that in a couple days.
Nice. Did you get Brandon? Oh my God, Brandon Reed, Gavin. Right. Did you get to the living off the grid stuff?
No, but what? I'm sure we will.
What? How do you have an interview with someone who's living off the grid, and your first question is, "Thank you for being here. How are you doing this without Wi-Fi?"
I didn't know she was living off the grid. It never came up in conversation. We were talking about if people have free will or not.
I think that's something that needs to be known. You got to know if you're going to be talking to someone that's like something freaking cool. I've already used so many F words. Yeah. Something freaking cool with that like that's something. Oh my gosh, her living off the grid. That could have been a whole episode.
I always look people up before I interview them, but it just never came up. Did you tell me, Brian? Gavin says Brian says I'm fired. Did you tell me that she lives off the grid?
Yep, there's the question. Because if you didn't, and I asked, is there anything we need to know in these interviews? Boom, dropping knowledge.
Yeah, I'm going. Let me see.
Don't even worry about looking. Let's focus on the show. So today we have our workout coming in. I think that we have F. Brett coming on soon. Let's see if he's ready.
Oh, he changed his name. I appreciate that.
You're welcome. I did it. So Brett looks like he's ready to warm us up. Yes, I told you when I sent you the links. Ooh, Brian's calling it out.
Yeah, no, I didn't see it all, and she never brought it up in the 2 hours that we talked. She never once brought it up. So
I don't know. It sounds like you were on a date, not an interview.
I mean, her husband was there, and it still felt like a date. It was pretty awesome. The 3 of us were like, dude. Oh, I was flirting with her husband too. He wasn't responding or on the camera, but I was giving him compliments. So now you know. Yeah, you got to make sure we read the emails closer, because if you could have got her and her husband off the grid, dude, I would have been like, how are you on Wi-Fi? How do you plan your concerts? Yeah. How like to be able to travel? Do you use gas in your car? Or is it just completely run on solar panels? Oh my God. Sorry, Brett just came back and he's ready for today. Yep, he is ready for today. Ladies and gentlemen, you're not going to want to go anywhere. Brett will be here in about 5 to 7 minutes. He's in the background getting ready, and he looks absolutely ready. Oh my God, I have nothing. I feel like 8 Mile by Eminem should be playing in the background of him right now. See, nobody's going to get that joke until they get on here, because Joe looks like he's either an undercover cop or a Molly dealer at all times. So Brett knew he had to figure out how he was going to be able to match Joe's energy and be able to talk to us today and make us work out. So he's making sure he fits Joe's persona, and he's F Brett today. I'm loving it. All he needs to do now is just, or I'll say when we pull him on. Yeah, I agree. And honestly, buddy, I think missing that stuff shows how good of a conversation you did have. And I think it means that is her husband in the band too? No, but he does give her critique for her music. He gives her very honest criticism. So with that, I think that her having new stuff coming out, anytime, and her next thing, 'cause especially with you two being friends now and pen pals, her next thing, dude, that's fun. I love having pen pals. I'm stoked. I actually have one of our old guests that was on our other show
that stayed ended up being my friend, and we message each other every 3 to 5 days, and it's just checking in and all that. And I just think it's funny how you never know who you're gonna meet, where all of a sudden you connect, you know.
Yeah.
And she just needed a friend, and she was going through life, and she's like, "You're just positive," and I'm like, "I'm not doing anything," and we just lift each other up. It's like our energies balance each other when we're out, when one of us is bad and the other one's good. But I think that means you're going to have her back because.
Oh, no, absolutely. I already told her, it was like, I need to have you back on the show. When you got new stuff coming out, we'll talk about that. We'll continue on our theories. Like, yeah, we definitely want to be back on the show again together. I
think that'll be great because then that gives everybody incentive to want to listen again. Like, think about that. You guys have this great interview, and then the next thing you talk about is like how she does all of this living off the grid. You know what I mean? If she was a beekeeper, she'd sound like she'd be perfect. And that's just because I'm obsessed with bees right this minute.
Why?
I watched a bee documentary about how much they really do influence. It was in the background as I was working the other day, and it was just all about how bees really do affect all of the earth and how important they are. And I knew a lot of it, but what was interesting was the facts that I didn't know. And it was one of those things that, it's one of those things that I got into, and then all of a sudden TikTok was eavesdropping on me, and they sent me all these beekeeper things, and so did Instagram, and they're like, if you like bees, check this out. And I'm like, oh my God, like, talk about like stalking me on my social media. And the thing
is beekeeping an expensive hobby? Because that sounds like one of those random kind of dumb things that I would get really into and really enjoy, actually.
Probably. I don't know. Like so what they did is they have people there's two women who are both beekeepers.
Yeah.
And the way they handle their bees is different. And the one is very angry at the other for not doing safety protocols, and like completely like hair is out. Sorry, Bob.
Oh, are you talking about the chick who just like with her bare hands is scooping up piles of bees? That's nuts.
So she talks about it and all this stuff. And the other girl, like the documentary was all about how this other girl was completely angry with her because she's like, you're giving people false hope. You're going to have people sticking their hand in things and pulling out bees. But the queen was already removed. Her husband's done all these other work, and she doesn't show that. Like she just shows that I'm taking bees out with my bare hand. She doesn't have her hair tied up or anything. She doesn't have any of that. She literally is just reaching in, taking them, and it looks so smooth. But the thing is, it's not just that smooth. It's something that there was a lot of work that went in before that. They're not protected. They're not going to defend their queen when their queen's already been removed safely, and they are already gassed to where they're a little tired compared to the other one that's wearing the whole bee suit, showing you what she's doing, getting all in there and breaking it down for you. One makes it look simple as hell and fun. The other makes it look like real and what you'd expect. Because I can't imagine going into a bee thing and not taking out all the stuff that I want, not wearing the right material. And I'm not afraid of bees, but I know a lot of people who are.
Yeah, I remember I was probably in like the second or third grade when I saw the video of the beard of bees. Have you seen that video? Mm-hmm. And after that, I thought to myself, all right, there's no reason to be afraid of bees. There really isn't. You know, as long as you're calm and chill around them, they will most likely do not go back to that window and start barking.
Okay, I won't.
Sorry, the dog. For those just listening to the audio, the dog he keeps barking at the window and it's driving me crazy. I'm trying to get him to stop, but I'm also trying not to yell at him and add to that energy. Anyway, yeah, there's no reason to be afraid of bees. And in all honesty, beekeeping, I just like the thought of just having like a hive in my backyard. Mother Lover Jones, I will be right back.
I'm so sorry. I don't mean to laugh. Sticky Situations is Brandon's middle name, according to Brian Tracy. So, ladies and gentlemen, while Gavin goes and takes care of his dog, what did he say? Mother, father, sticky situation? I don't remember. Well, what did you say? Mother, father, what?
said Mother Lover Jones.
Mother Lover Jones. See, I always go mother, father, sister, brothers.
I like that. Yeah. Well, mine is from. It's a reference from the movie Terrible Boss or Horrible Bosses.
Horrible Bosses, yeah.
Yeah. When they played it on TV, they instead of mother effer, they'd call him either melon farmer or mother lover.
Mine is from church camp. We're not allowed to swear at church camp, and the pastor's son, the head pastor of the church, came up with mother father. He's like, mother father, and everybody just took off with it, and it was like, that's funny. So before we bring Brett Gordon on and have our stuff get ready for the day and bring out F. Brett, today we're going to focus on positivity. Gee, that's a surprise. So Gavin, fans, comments, please write in what you're not only grateful for, but what is making you proud to be alive today. Do you want to go first or should I?
You can go first.
So I got an email yesterday that I will be presenting Delight and Delight Digital in front of 1,500 investors and venture capitalists on the main day. And I thought my speech was only going to be 15 minutes. It's apparently an hour now, and I didn't know it was going to be that long. So I have to make sure. Yeah, Brett's writing notes. He's like, I want to kill Brandon because this is a lot. I'm very excited. I really am. I'm nervous as all get up, but I'm really grateful because the people like Gavin, Brett, Jessica, Mike, Brian, who have been here, who have served, who have been a part of this and seen the last few months, not the last few years until recently, the change, the growth. I'm so nervous, but so excited about this presentation. And yeah, this is going to be fun. I'm just grateful because yesterday felt like the whole world got put on me. Son of a mother, father. I'm going to have to move right when we start because as we're going to be doing the show today, my father scheduled somebody to come take a tree out. Unfortunately, the tree that they're going to be taking out is literally right here. Guys, I'm going to just keep my fingers near the mute button, but here's what's going to happen. I'm going to have some fun pointing out the window and having the cameras, they go up and start cutting trees out. So whenever you hear it, I might just stick my head out and go under a chainsaw just to see what happens,
Best of luck with that. Watch out for falling branches.
Thank you. So Gavin, tell me, what are you really excited about in life right now?
Right now, actually, what I'm really excited about is I'm going to Columbus next weekend for Nightmare Combat, which is remember when I bought tickets for that? And your girl wasn't going. Who are you taking in her place? I did get a date for that because I paid for the tickets. I'm sorry. In all honesty, if I didn't find somebody, I was gonna take you.
It's okay.
But I was like, I feel like this would be a really unique and cool date opportunity.
No, I love it. Is your date in Columbus already, or are you guys having to drive to Columbus together?
Oh no, we're gonna drive. We already have a playlist. We already have playlists made up in the car and stuff. We're gonna get some snacks. So it's gonna be an awesome 2-hour drive there. We're gonna kill some nightmares. For those who don't know, what's going on with the Nightmare Combat is you get like these model M16s or something like that. Like they're actual military weapons. And they have full recoil and everything, but they're modified, so it's like laser tag essentially. And then you have all these. You have robotics, you have actors, and they have these collars and stuff on them. And so when you shoot them, I don't know if they vibrate or buzz or what they do, but it signals to whatever's wearing the collar that it's been shot, so they die. So you're basically doing like real life zombies, and there's like giant spiders and crazy mutants and aliens and all kinds of nonsense in this thing. And it's this giant haunted house. It takes about an hour to get through.
And these are expensive or not expensive? I did not mean to do that. Why does it automatically add me to the show?
In all honesty, I don't remember how much I spent on the on everything. I don't remember it being terribly much. So for 2 tickets, I want to say it was around $100 for 2 tickets. Like maybe it was between like $80 and $100. But
Yeah.
It definitely sounds like it's worth it. So I'm very, very stoked. Looking forward to that. But yeah, no, I got 2 tickets. I'm not going to do it alone. I was going to have somebody come with me regardless. I was going to figure it out. So I did. Looking forward to it.
That's awesome. Are you see, I have no volume on there and I'm hearing myself. I have an echo. Are you excited for this? And like, what is something that like, I'm excited for it because it sounds fun, but are you excited for it to shoot laser tags? And is it an all day thing because of the drive? And then
it's going to be a pretty much all day thing for us because we got to do a 2-hour drive there. And then the event takes about an hour and then a 2-hour drive back. So that's a good 5 hours out of the day that we're doing. So I'm very excited for all that. And then on top of that, I'm really excited because it sounds very intense. The one things that I don't like I love going to haunted houses with friends because I enjoy their experience from it. But I just kind of walk around with my thumbs in my pocket and just like check out the designs and the details and stuff. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. Oh, that was creative. But nothing, it doesn't really scare or freak me out. I don't know why. It just doesn't do it for me. So I'm hoping that this gets my heart racing. Maybe not from like a being scared points, but at least from having to feel like I'm actually like fighting and I'm actually shooting everything.
That'll be fun. Oh my God, I'm jealous. Yeah. I am so jealous. All right. So today is workout day. Thank you, Jessica Dugas, the great dude. You're going to do all the reading today.
The breakthrough show.
There we go. I am grateful today for my neuro routine and the opportunity to interview the person helping me with that. And I can thank her personally. That's true. I know Jessica's been feeling it lately, and I'm grateful you get to have that too and have the person that's helping you build. The breakthrough show again says, I'm so excited about my December event and getting people signed up to help out. Whee! So the truth is, she has an amazing event coming up this December. She is going to be doing some really, really cool things. I cannot say much about it right this second, but Delight Digital Cafe is a part of it. Please know that we are so excited to be a part of this with her, be doing different things and helping to get this going. And guys, the breakthrough show's on to some big shit. I hope you're ready. I hope you're ready. So, Gavin, are you ready to work out? There we go. There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Ready. Here we go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children, please put your children aside and watch out because we have the one, the only, F. Brett.
You're muted, dude. Brett, you're muted.
We'll start that all over again.
There you go.
Welcome, men, to the United States Java Delight Army. I'm your Sergeant Hulka. Before we proceed any further, I got to get something straight. Your mamas are not here to take care of you now. It's just you, me, and Uncle Sam. And before I leave, you're going to find out that me and Uncle Sam are one and the same. So get ready, Mr. Push-Ups.
All right, Sergeant Not So Slim Shady. I'm ready.
You ready? Okay, so going to start with the warm-up, gentlemen. Ready? Jog in place. Got no idea how long you're supposed to jog in place, but you jog in place.
30 seconds, Sarge.
30 seconds. All right, that's close enough. Take a break, take a breather. Take a drink. Yeah, make sure you hydrate.
Is this
Love them shorts.
like in the military?
All right, you ready to get back to work? Jog in place. Start now. All right. Well, you know, I'm going to be you can just think of me like your big toe. I'm Sergeant Hulka, and you are the rest of the foot. Come on, keep it up. 10 more seconds. Done. All right. Now, we're going to move on to the next. Brandon, turn around. Pay attention. No more squirrels. All right, we're going to go into the body squats. Again, got no idea what that is, so you guys figure it out. And I think you're supposed to do like 10. I don't know.
So a body squat, it's going to be a regular squat. We're going to have the weight between our legs here, holding a dumbbell. And when you come down, touch the ground, and you come back up.
Yeah, that's right. Hold the dumbbell that's between your legs. I mean, hold the dumbbell between your legs.
Yes, 2 sets of 10.
All right. When you're done your 10, relax. Don't drop it on your foot, Brandon.
When you do
all right, take a breather.
When you do this exercise, make sure that you keep your back straight, your chest big, and then you're going to have your butt out, similar to if you're going to sit down in a chair.
Love that view, Mr. Croucher. All right, you guys had enough of a break? Next set. Ready? Go. Brandon, it's supposed to be between your legs. All right. Great job, gentlemen. You're working your way back into the Army here. All right, we're going to start the workup next. Brandon, you got your speaker and microphone on?
What's the workout, Sarge? What are we doing?
All right, workout.
Here we go.
Going to have bicep curl. We're going to do some shoulder press, push-ups, a low plank, and a standing crunch.
What am I doing?
Bicep curls.
Tell me when.
When?
How many do I do?
10. Okay, so you can see that Brandon is doing 2 arms one at the same time, and Gavin is alternating, so I guess you could do either one, whichever is more comfortable to you. Just keep your back straight. It's form that matters. All right, take a break. How you feeling, gentlemen?
Fine.
Okay.
I feel good.
Make sure you breathe. Make sure you breathe when you're exerting your energy as well, not when don't hold your breath.
Hold my breath.
Don't
Okay.
hold your breath.
Oh.
Breathe. Okay, ready for next set? Ready? Begin. There you go. Your bodies aren't swaying at all. That's awesome form, gentlemen. Welcome to Java Delight.
I can hear myself breathing.
Well, that's good.
No, like the echo.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. All right, you guys done? Looks like Gavin's just finishing up. Brandon, you look like you're tired.
I'm reading Jessica's comment. 50 push-ups. Whoa, this is
That's a
long.
fact, Jack.
Okay.
All right, next exercise is the shoulder press.
Ready?
Ready? Gavin, ready? Ready. Go ahead. 1, 2. You can do it at different rates. Go ahead. Keep going. Guys are looking good, looking good. Keep that back straight, arms extended. Partway down, there you go. Good, nice press form. Take a break.
I'm reading the comment.
Brandon Vader. All right. Get ready for the next set when you guys...
Yeah. I haven't heard an ice cream truck in a hot minute, in all honesty. And every time I go to them, they usually don't even have that good of ice cream. It's just a fun, memory of mine is running to the truck. So even now as an adult, I'll still run to the ice cream truck, and I'll get, one of those messed up, distorted-faced Spider-Man or Ninja Turtle popsicles they have with the gum eyeballs.
Why are we talking about ice cream?
Because the Breakthrough Show said that Brandon runs like he's in a fairy costume and he heard an ice cream truck.
Oh, I don't see that.
I don't know if they still have those popsicles that look like kind of a rocket ship that are made of different, red, white, and blue.
Oh yeah, they still got this. All right, Brandon's on his
All right. Well, if you guys do good, you can get one later on today. Go ahead, yeah. Wishing Joe was here, but definitely don't envy his busted tooth. All right, great job, gentlemen.
Well, yeah, what's next?
Next one, push-ups.
Ready?
We're just gonna have you give me 10.
Just
10 at a time.
Six, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Like Gavin's form there, nice straight back. Head up. There you go. Awesome muscles. Before this is over, Brandon, you're going to look just like Gavin.
I'm going to have hair?
Yeah, you're going to have hair.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, we got one more set, 10 push-ups. Ready? Begin. Looking good. That nice straight back plank kind of form. That's what you want to see. Chest barely touching the ground in order for it to count, not the head that hangs low and touches first. All right. Great job, gentlemen. Next exercise is going to be the low plank. So that's when you're on your elbows.
Low.
You guys ready? You want to still take a couple seconds to break?
I'm already in my
That's
plank.
going to be for 30 seconds, correct?
Yes. Ready?
I've been in it.
Oh, well, I'll begin.
What are other ways you can do planks?
You can do a high plank where you're actually in the push-up position. That definitely places more stress on your shoulders and your arms. All right, you got 5 more seconds. All right, 1, done. All right, take a break.
I'm sweating.
Anything you'd like to say, gentlemen? Looks like Brandon's just resting. Gavin looks like he hasn't done anything yet. All right. We're going to be coming up, and then we're going to be bringing Elizabeth in just about 15 minutes, a little less. All right, you ready? Go. Next
Here we
set.
go. Ninja Turtle strength.
I think Michelangelo's just waiting for the next pizza. Or Mikey.
Chef Mike RD.
Yeah, Chef Mike RD. Good job. Hold out 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Done. Great job, gentlemen. Only one more exercise left in today's regimen. Then we're going to commission you both as the Delight Army.
Did Brandon,
Brandon, you look so
natural, distorted. Like he's so close to the camera, it makes his nose look.
Well, and Gavin still doesn't look like he's done anything. He's like, okay, when are we going to start?
Brandon, you're so close to your camera, it's distorted your face, and it kind of makes you look like you were in the movie Ratatouille.
Do you see my crooked nose?
It's beautiful.
There you go. I'm always pointing to my left.
Well, if that's the only thing that points to your left, you're doing okay.
All right,
gentlemen. Last exercise, standing crunch.
The
If I'm not
dog
mistaken, that's where you put your elbows to your knees. Lift your knees up. I don't know. I'm assuming you're doing 30 seconds of that. So keep it up. Brandon looks like he's dancing. Gavin looks like he's just relaxing.
Damn it. There we go.
All right. Almost done. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, done. All right, gentlemen, take one more break.
To be honest, I feel like we're not doing these correctly because I don't feel much.
Then you're not squeezing from your abs.
Yeah, but if you look at Brandon, he looks like he's doing a lot. So I guess it's just that you're in shape.
Well, no, exactly. So am I supposed to bend down? Is that what I'm doing?
Kind of bend down. Brandon's telling everybody that I'm number one. I love it.
Because I'm just bringing my lanky ass knees just up to my elbow.
You lift
Well,
opposite leg.
you can lift your knee that high. Yeah.
So
So I guess try to bring your elbow midway to your thigh. That'll make it work. You'll have to work a little harder.
hey.
You about ready, Brandon?
Yeah, sorry. They're removing a tree.
Okay, one more set. Begin. I think Joe would be killing you right now, Brandon. 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Great job, gentlemen. Brandon, I think you're in for a heck of a workout the next time you see Joe, because he's going to make sure you feel the pain that you caused today. All right. All right, well, this is Sergeant Hulko, your big toe, telling you that you did an awesome job, gentlemen, and keep up the good work. We'll see you next time around when we'll bring Fuck Joe back here to work you out.
I would thank you so much, Brett, for giving us this workout, stepping in for Joe. I'm gonna take you on. We'll see you again next time. All right.
All right, take it easy,
Later, buddy. Well, I would have loved to have him as an officer. Come on, guys, run a mile. We get halfway there. All right, take a break for a second. Get a good stretch going, and you're muted right now.
That's because I'm switching mics.
There you go. Yeah. You good?
Yeah, I have to figure out these dogs, so I'll be back because literally right outside my door they have a chainsaw going apparently, and the dog's going nuts. So I will be right back.
All right, heard that.
Brett, that means you talk to Gavin.
Oh, I was just gonna kind of sit here alone and just ramble on about stuff. But all right, hey Brett, welcome back. Oh, now he's gone again. Hey Brett, welcome back.
Hey, how's it going? How you feeling?
I feel fine. I feel pretty good. I still don't think that I was quite doing the crunch.
I think you could have. It looked like you could have maybe brought your elbow more toward the outside of your thigh or something like that, and that would have made it a little bit more strenuous.
Joe will correct me.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know.
Yeah. I try to do a lot of running. I've been doing a lot of running lately, actually, which is interesting because in high school I did running just around the high school, not for like a sport or anything like that. But then all throughout like elementary school, middle school, and like the very beginning of high school, I did a bunch of sports, football, track, baseball, stuff like that. So I did a lot of running. And then at one point I just completely stopped altogether. And this weekend was probably like this past week, I've been running again at the gym. And then I've been running just around doing different jobs. And it's the first time that I've really ran in probably 2 years. And I forgot how awesome it really does feel to get your lungs like burning and get oxygen just properly flowing through you. I think that's part of the reason why people enjoy like yoga so much is feeling the oxygen really fill their lungs and go into their bloodstream. That's where that runner's high comes from.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you get the endorphins going and all that kind of stuff, and that really starts to literally give you a natural high.
Yeah.
So that you're not having to bring any kind of outside drugs in. It's just the inner chemicals of your body that's giving you that kind of euphoria.
Yeah. Yeah. It's been extremely humid lately as well. And it's always such a weird thing running in a very humid area if there's somebody who hasn't done it, because here in Ohio right now, it'll storm for a good like hour and a half, 2 hours, and then it'll be bright and sunny again. So it's just extremely humid. And when you're running in a humid environment, what happens is you start running and it cools you off. And because you're breathing in that humid air and you're staying you're not perfectly hydrated, but better hydrated. And then the moisture in the air keeps you cool, but then you get out of breath. And so as soon as you stop running to catch your breath, you're getting tired, then you're in like this soup almost, and you start to get really hot. So you want to run again to cool down, ironically, but that heats you back up even more, and you get caught in this cycle. That happened to me in Belize when I was playing soccer with the native kids there, because their humidity is off the charts over there. And I remember running around, getting exhausted, and as soon as I would stop running, I was like, oh my God, it just got 10 degrees hotter all of a sudden.
Yeah, because there's like stagnant air just around you. At least when you're running, the air is kind of blowing past you a little bit. So it helps to evaporate, and then you're feeling better. But when you stop, it just kind of really sinks in just how humid and warm it is. And then you got the inner body temperature at the same time.
Yeah. And for people who don't enjoy running, because don't get me wrong, you get knee problems, or maybe you don't have the best stamina, just walking as well. That can be great for you. I can't see, I used to walk everywhere all the time. Before I had a car, I would walk and bike everywhere. And I've had just so many nice, it's like being in a shower. The best ideas you get in the shower. That's how it is.
Bless you.
Thank you. That's how it is for me when I'm walking around or riding my bike. I'll put it in an earbud, and I'll just sort of stay in my own thoughts and just have shower ideas.
Walking especially is something, and running too, but where you can really kind of get into more or less an introspective, meditative state, allows you to kind of organize your thoughts, allow your thoughts to go wherever they're going to go. And it does so with the chemicals, like we were talking about, the endorphins. So when you actually do it with that kind of, if you want to call it happy chemicals running through your body, then, it really does give you a different perspective on things. And some of those ideas or those epiphanies come through in those time frames because you actually have the body chemistry as well as the mindset of just letting things flow as your body's just kind of churning along. It really is therapeutic.
Yeah, well, they say the best time to have your ideas is in the morning. Is the best time to write and think and stuff like that. And so what I've been doing is lately I've been working out in the morning before the show. I didn't today just because I was up late last night, so I slept in a little bit today. But typically I like to try to go to the gym early in the morning. And I'll tell you what, starting the day off like that, I'm not doing crazy workouts. I am pushing myself, and I am trying to make sure that I can get to my goals and everything. But just getting my blood flowing in the morning. I start off with a nice run of for 10 minutes on the treadmill, 15 minutes on the treadmill, and then I do my lifting. And doing that, it makes me feel more awake, more alert. It makes me think clearer, faster. I can just feel everything kind of warm up. It's like pouring oil into a machine and then just seeing it go. It really is an awesome feeling.
I get that feeling, but it's not first thing in the morning. First thing in the morning is almost always been my entire life. Holy crap, I got to wake up and just get the blood flowing and things like that. And I remember when I was going through officer training school, first thing in the morning, you're out, and it was October, November, December down in Texas. So actually in the morning, it can get cold down there. And there was times there was frost on our backs when we were running, but I kind of got the blood flowing. But where my creativity really comes in is more between 10 o'clock at night and 4 o'clock in the morning, which is why I tend to stay awake late. But then when I got to get up to do this show just 2 hours later, it makes it rough.
No, I believe it. And that's a weird scenario when you're in a place like the desert where it does get really cold, and you wake up early and there's frost and everything, and you're freezing cold, and then next thing you know, a couple hours later, you're sweating hot, sunburned, and just miserable.
Yeah, it was really weird when I was active duty in Desert Storm. We got this emergency order to send all the long underwear that was available to us to the desert, and myself included. We were like, what the hell? You're in the middle of the desert. It's hot as hell out there, and you're having us rush orders. I mean, put it in front of all the other, combat equipment and stuff.
Yeah.
Get these long johns out there to them. And then it dawned on me, oh yeah, at nighttime, it can get down, below freezing.
Oh, yeah.
And our troops are over there, freezing their ass off. So it made sense. I mean, there was a couple of weird things that have happened like that. Just like we had to put toilet paper in front of all combat gear at times. And you're like, toilet paper? Why is that? Well, because it had to get there before a submarine left.
Yeah.
And when a submarine goes out for, months at a time, if they don't have
if they don't have something, there's no
toilet paper,
getting it.
that could be a real shitty voyage.
I see what you did there.
But it is true. It is true that did happen. So, just something to be aware of when you're not aware of the environments that people are in, you need to maybe listen to what they got to say. Anyhow, I think Brandon may be ready.
Yeah.
Nope.
Nope. Well, that's all right, because you know who is ready. We have our wonderful guest, Elizabeth Yarnell, in the background. Brett, if you would like, I can have you stick with me in the meantime until Brandon is done with his tree and dog situation. They're barking up the wrong tree, is what I've been told. So no, that was awful. That was a bad one. I apologize for that. But in the meantime, we will bring on our guest for today. Everybody, without further ado, Elizabeth Yarnell. Hello, Miss Elizabeth.
Morning.
How are you? Good
Welcome.
morning.
Good morning, gentlemen.
So, I just have to say, I absolutely love your name. I've always loved the name Elizabeth. It's in my mind, it's very royalty to me. So if I call you Miss Elizabeth, then that's just what it is. Then it's just Miss Elizabeth.
I'll take that.
Wonderful. How are you today?
I'm doing well. It's a beautiful day outside today.
Absolutely. Where are you located at exactly?
I am in Denver, Colorado.
Jealous. I've been to Colorado one time for about a weekend, and I was up in the mountains, and I just have to say it's possibly one of, if not the most beautiful states that I've ever been in.
It is a great place to live, and there's just an amazing balance of urban and recreation and rural and mountains and high plains. And yes, I grew up here, and I always knew that I would want to come back to raise my kids. So, yes,
that is
I would
amazing.
agree.
That's amazing. So, reading through your bio, the first thing that we brought up in the bio that was said was that you were diagnosed with MS at the age of 30. For those, myself included, who are not fully sure what MS is, could you please explain?
Absolutely. So, MS is an inflammatory autoimmune disorder that affects the nervous system. Medical science believes the reason people get MS is unknown, but it is considered an autoimmune, which means, if you look at it very literally, auto means itself and immune means allergic. So allergic to yourself is an autoimmune disease, which we can get into, which I think is a completely false statement and definition, but that is the current medical definition of autoimmunity. So what happens with MS is that there are signals that go from our brain to our body and tell us everything from how to move to how to speak to how to breathe. And in multiple sclerosis, because there's inflammation that surrounds the nerves and damages the myelin sheaths, which hold the synapses, the signals of the nerves inside, then sometimes those signals get disrupted. And that's why a lot of people with MS have difficulties with walking or with doing things with their mobility or even with their thinking or even saying words.
Interesting. So what would you say is your definition then?
So my definition is inflammation. My work is all focused on inflammation and the recognition that inflammation is at the root of most, if not all, symptoms. So if we just think about, well, what symptoms might be caused by inflammation? Well, if you have a headache, that's inflammation in the head. If you have sinus issues, that's inflammation in the sinuses. If you have asthma or heart disease, that's inflammation in the chest. If you have gut issues, that's inflammation in the gut. So all of this, arthritis, inflammation in the joints, anything, of course, that ends in an itis in medical terms means inflammation. And so I prefer just to look at, well, what is the root cause? Is it inflammation? And if so, we can deal with this by creating an anti-inflammatory program for that person to remove that inflammation out of their body. So really, I think it matters less the diagnosis and the manifestation and more if there is inflammation at the root cause.
Oh, interesting.
So when you talk about doing an anti-inflammatory program, have you been working on non-pharmaceutical type anti-inflammation programs?
Yes. So I am a traditional naturopath, and that means I do not work with pharmaceuticals, I do not work with surgeries, and I do not do diagnoses. So yes, I am very focused on non-pharmaceutical methodologies and treatments. That may include anything from diet to herbs to vitamins to homeopathy, but even also things like devices that change energy frequencies in your body. So it doesn't have to be non-mechanical or non-electrical. It just has to be non-pharmaceutical.
Yeah, I'm familiar with like time waver machines and the Healy and things along those lines, which really are working on changing your body energy frequencies, vibration, and those all have massive changes on your body. So I commend you for looking and being one of those that are out in the forefront of really where I believe we should be in medicine. And I was bio pre-med back in the day. But now I am like wholeheartedly supporting of holistic viewpoints and non-pharmaceuticals, because there's a lot of reasons why pharmaceuticals are pushed, and most of them have absolutely nothing to do with helping people.
So are you giving people diet and exercise plans then, or doing things with like you said, changing energies? Are you talking about things like with crystals and incense and massages, or types of yoga and breathing exercises? What exactly is that you're doing?
Well, you just threw a whole bunch of things in there, right? So
Yeah.
I personally focus on diet. That is my specialty.
Okay.
Designing customized or personalized anti-inflammatory diets. And to do that, I use a very, very sophisticated blood test that I don't perform. There's only one laboratory in the country that does this test, but it is the gold standard of food sensitivity testing. So we create a diet that it's not an elimination diet, it's a restricted diet. So it restricts that person to eating only the foods that are not inflammatory for that person. And that is unique to each person. For myself, one of my most inflammatory foods is lettuce.
Really?
Wow. Okay.
And what
is
do
it
you
a
think
specific kind of lettuce, or just like
really anything that's called lettuce? That could be red leaf lettuce, green leaf lettuce, iceberg lettuce, romaine lettuce. I can do things like arugula or kale or spinach. Those are different families. But lettuce makes me wobbly on my feet, which is an MS symptom.
Huh. Do you know why? Do you know what's in it that causes that?
So that is a very Western medical way to look at it. There must be something in the lettuce. But really what it is that there is something in my white blood cells that finds the lettuce offensive or irritating.
Just don't like your face, lettuce. Get out of my body. I'm not feeling you.
For my son, some of his most inflammatory foods are broccoli, garlic, and lemon. So, it could be the foods that we think are the healthiest for our bodies that are actually causing us the most distress.
That's a shame.
It's got a lot to do with your gut
awesome
biome and stuff like that.
Yes, and yes for both of you. But yes, Brett, the microbiome in our gut, that really is the new frontier, right? For exploration. Really, it's almost like the whole universe is inside of our gut.
Yeah.
And the amount we know about is probably the same amount as what we know about the universe, which is minuscule. But yes, the microbiome has a big part to do with it. Not the only part, but a lot to do with it. And I wish there was a universal prescription that I could write a book and become a bestseller and tell everybody this is how you heal yourself from autoimmunity, but it's absolutely unique to each person.
Yeah, so having this condition and all this knowledge about it, is this what drove you to create and write a cookbook, or was that something that you already wanted to do prior to being diagnosed? Did you already have a passion for cooking?
That's a great question. No, the answer is no. I did not have a passion for cooking growing up. In fact, for the 10 years leading up to my diagnosis with MS, the only staple foods I kept in my apartment were Crystal Light, Diet Coke, and gummy bears. So,
I like it. I like it. There you go.
But when I was diagnosed, it was my then fiance at the time who was a competitive athlete. He was, I think, number 6 snowshoer in the world that year.
Oh my God.
And he suggested, he said, well, maybe, you're in this state because it has something to do with your diet. And I thought,
all you eat is gummy bears and drink Diet Coke. No wonder your body isn't happy.
Exactly. So I started doing research through like the ADA and the Mayo Clinic. And really what I found out is that the healthiest diets are ones that are whole foods based rather than processed foods based.
Yeah.
And I thought, okay, well, I can do that. I can follow more of a whole foods based diet, but I don't know how to cook, and I don't even know what that means. And so I started taking cooking lessons, cooking classes at cooking school, and watching the Food Network, which was brand new at that time, and realizing fairly quickly that creating a diet based on whole foods was just tremendously time consuming, and you use up every pot and pan in your kitchen. And so clean up after making a whole foods based dinner is a long process, and fatigue is a big hallmark of multiple sclerosis.
Yeah.
So one night we were watching late night TV, and it was in the days before we had cable TV. I don't even know if you're old enough to remember this, Gavin, but there used to be only 3 channels on TV. And
I do remember a time when I had 3 channels on TV, not because there were only 3 channels, but just because we couldn't afford any more channels. Yeah. So I lived in that time, just not in that time. Like we had 3 channels because that's all we could afford. But I remember it.
Well, exactly.
I have to say, I love having my headphones on, running around the house, organizing things, trying to make sure I can give you the best of my attention. And I hear Diet Coke and gummy bears. I'm like, yes, my kind of diet. I'm finally found my people. So Elizabeth, thank you for being understanding. Apparently my dad scheduled a guy. Oh my God, I have a guy right outside my window with a chainsaw right now. This has been a fun morning. But I love that you're so open about your MS and what you're doing with it and stuff like that, because it's a very hard disease that a lot of people are getting more acquainted to and learning more about. And I have a family member that had MS, and she was in pain all the time. And what helped her was swimming. Have you noticed any exercises that have really been beneficial in helping you?
Well, so again, if we can address the inflammation in the body, then that opens up whatever exercise. The best exercise for you is the one that you like to do. I like to do jazzercise. I do jazzercise on demand at home every morning. I like to do yoga. I like to ride my bike. I've gotten in and out of swimming in my life, but mostly I can't stand the chlorine. It makes my body itch. So unless I have a saltwater pool, that's not something I'm going to do regularly. So really, whatever it is that you like to do and that gets you moving, because if you don't use it, you lose it.
Oh, good point.
What
has been some of your biggest struggles of having this? Like, there's many you can have, but what has been something that you're proud of that you've come through of, that most people, it's a struggle that you go through, but then you're like, nope, I got through this. Anybody can. What's something like that for you?
So as I started to figure out what I could do after this diagnosis to make my life better and my future better, because that, as you know, with your cousin or your friend who had MS, that's the scariest part of this disease, is the uncertainty and the unknown about your future. And the fact that you can go on this downhill slope. In fact, in my in my neurologist's office, he has a chart that says basically the track of multiple sclerosis, and it is a straight downhill slope into full-on disability. And he says, oh, it doesn't matter how long you stay up here and do well, you're still going to end up on that downhill slope at the end, just like everybody else with MS. And I'm like, no, that is not what's going to happen. And obviously it's up to me, because medical science isn't able to help me with this. Obviously it's up to me to figure out how to change this. And so that's when, as I started saying, I started studying healthy diet, and then I went on and began studying really more about how does the human body work in a more holistic sense without these pharmaceutical things. And so what I'm most proud about is the theory that I have developed about autoimmunity, that it really isn't being allergic to yourself, and it isn't a mystery why you're having all this inflammation. You can actually track it down and discover the individual triggers for each person. And once you can identify the triggers, like for me, lettuce, and I can avoid lettuce, now I don't have any inflammation. So do I really have an autoimmune disease? I don't have any symptoms because I don't have any inflammation, because I know what my triggers are, so I can avoid them.
That's interesting. I like that a lot. So you say that you made it very clear that you are, again, Brandon, you're muted. It doesn't matter. I saw him talking. I was like, no one can hear him. So you made it clear that you are, for the most part, if not altogether, against pharmaceuticals and pharmacies and how they run everything. Then I'm assuming that you have either classes or one-on-one sessions with people that you go and you help them, you figure out a diet plan for them, you take them and you send their test out to a lab to get the blood test done and everything. Do you accept insurance from people when they do that, or how do you make it affordable for people to get your services?
So to backtrack a little bit, I'm not against pharmaceuticals.
Yeah.
I'm all for things like antibiotics and some vaccines and things like that. But what I am against is long-term suppression of symptoms as a treatment or management for chronic issues. So where Western medicine is really, really good is at emergency services. If I get in a car accident, please take me to the hospital, put me back together. But if I have long-term chronic issues like arthritis or heart disease or diabetes or lupus or anything like that, that's where pharmaceuticals really fall short.
Yeah.
So if we look back at the history of healthcare in our country, really up until about 1910, there was a whole range of medical schools that graduated people who would practice homeopathy and natural healing, all sorts of other traditional, we might think of ways of healthcare. But in 1910, really it was Andrew Carnegie and J.D. Rockefeller who merged together and hired this person to write this Flexner report, which demonized alternative medicine. And then at the same time, they decided to fund schools that only taught pharmaceutical-based medicines or healthcare, because pharmaceuticals are made from oil, petroleum, and J.D. Rockefeller owned something like 90% of the petroleum at that time. So it was really a money-making endeavor.
Yeah.
And it ended up transforming our whole world. So insurance companies came out of the pharmaceutical industry and all of this stuff. How do I make it affordable for people to work with me? I don't take insurance because insurance companies don't recognize things that don't have to do with pharmaceuticals or surgeries, really. They don't see the value in that. Right. They would much rather have a customer for life who takes their pharmaceutical every day for the rest of their life and doesn't ever get better, because pharmaceuticals only mask problems. They don't actually cure symptoms. So I have a number of different ways that people can work with me. I have a 4-month one-on-one program where I work very intensively one-on-one with people to help design their customized diet, to help heal their gut, to help them figure out what they should be eating and how to cook things and recipes, and really just provide a lot of support. But I also have what I call the Holistic Health and Wellness Collective, which is a hub online for people who are seeking alternative and natural complementary therapies and protocols. Maybe they want to fully go away from conventional allopathic medicine. Maybe they want to just do something that is complementary to it. It doesn't matter. You don't have to quit all your drugs to come work with me.
Yeah.
But that is more of a online hub where you can find not only me, but lots of other practitioners who give out little mini trainings that are inside the hub, a whole recipe database, a resources database. So you can find handouts on things like the salicylic content of foods or the histamine levels or whatever types of information that you think would help you on your healing journey. Because really what a naturopath is an educator about natural healing.
I love that. And one of the things that that you mentioned is that it did become a cash grab at first to have everything be pharmaceutical and done the way that it was. But now it seems that it's also been played into and amplified in the fact with us having a society having such short attention spans and lack of motivation, where we don't want to try to find that long-term solution. We'd rather take a pill for everything because it's quick and easy and we don't have to think about it that much. It's, oh, my alarm went off, I'm going to swallow this really quick and boom, all my problems are solved. I didn't have to do any real effort for that. However, I have noticed, at least in niche pockets around the world, that we are starting to have more naturalistic communities grow and build up. Do you think that we're sort of looking at a medical revolution in a sense, or more like a renaissance, where we're going to start going back to doing more natural types of medicines and healing, and only have the Western medicine for those emergency situations where, oh, I got in a car crash or I had a heart attack, things like that?
Well, I certainly hope that it is a renaissance, that we're going to move away from a pill for an ill and toward more personal empowerment over your own healthcare, which is really what natural healing is.
Yeah.
But there's a huge amount of pushback in this country, and state by state are enacting different legislations against natural healers and trying to restrict them from advertising their services, from practicing their services, and really calling it consumer protection, to protect consumers from people who are not allopathic doctors.
Yeah.
So
I
it's
think
institutionalized.
Yeah, and I think the whole consumer protection thing, in all honesty, I think that's kind of bullshit, because how can you say that you want to have consumer protection for something like medicine, but then I'm 21, I can go to the store and buy, $500 worth of alcohol if I wanted to. They don't know who's going to be drinking that. Like I could take that home, consume as much of it as possible in one sitting, and then die of alcohol poisoning. It's not consumer protection they're worried about. They just want to make sure they have, like you said, that lifelong clients. That we have drugs that make you survive, not to your best potential, but you'll be alive.
Right. It is a tricky line to walk, for sure, to empower people to have control over their own health and their own bodies, and yet to try to protect them from damaging themselves and their own bodies. Yeah. We just saw a lot in the last year with people drinking bleach because they thought it would cure COVID and things like that. So there certainly are a lot of snake oil salesmen. We know one big one at the top. But
that almost seems like natural selection. In all
you did
honesty.
That so nicely. She did that so
I'm
nicely.
trying really, really hard.
Trust me, I get it. Have you ever done CBD? Just out of curiosity.
Of course.
Where are you located? I meant to double
Colorado.
check that. Oh, I love you so much already. So we have a CBD company that I have started a couple years ago, and it's different than anybody else's, but it's meant for people who are afraid of those snake salesmen, who are afraid of, well, there's so many companies out there. How do you learn to trust? How do you learn to this? So you saying this is 100% why I got into my business. I didn't want to Band-Aid an issue anymore. I wanted to take something that can be a medicine for people and help them break down those barriers. Now I've been trying to slide this in because I've had a lot of fun watching like 3 guys hang above me, and I've been putting it on my story. I'm paying attention, but like right now there's a dude who is 10 feet above me in this tree, and I'm kind of jealous because I want to hang out there too. It looks like fun. But your website, I went to your website and we have it here, like for people to sign up. So we want to be able to have everybody go there to be able to understand more. And if you guys don't notice, I am putting Brett at businesses are people to coming, because Brett signed up for this now because he deserves it. Thank you, Brett. Your contact will be shortly. But your website is pretty dang cool. I have to be honest. You've done a lot of cool things. You've been all over. You have your YouTube network, and you've done a TED Talk about this. Have you noticed that being able to have that open dialogue has created a way to help you find your best self and building your best self up through all of these things, helping others know more about MS and the struggles they might go through?
Well, absolutely. It has changed my life, changed my career, changed my mission, my purpose, everything. Yes. Yes.
I love it. Now, other than diet and like stuff and exercise, because we had a comment come in from Miss Sherry that like healthy diets, exercise is wonderful for the body. Most people with MS need their DMDs, disease modifying
drugs.
Yep. I'm glad she said that because I did not know what that was, and I was going to ask you if she did have it. My medication she tells us about, but she's been in a wheelchair and haven't been able to walk for 8 years. Have you noticed that with people that are dealing with MS, they do with their medicines get better, but it really does become more of a Band-Aid effect, and it takes mental, emotional, and diet to be able to help build yourself up with MS? I tried to ask it better up here, where is it just diets and foods, or do you hope that finding the triggers that are mentally and emotionally there for people as well during this helps them be able to balance their MS better?
That is a better perspective that I can speak to. So yes, I think absolutely mental perspective has a lot to do with your disease progression. And in fact, they've done research studies on that. And they have found for sure that if you have a better outlook, you do better. If you just become bitter and angry at the world, you do worse, and you get worse and worse with your MS. So yes, absolutely. And as I said, I don't ask anybody to stop taking their disease modifying therapies, but we want to recognize that they're only going so far. And there's a lot of toxic side effects. And a lot of people actually have died from taking Cyber-8, for example, which I find very scary. But I never counsel people to stop taking their drugs, and they should always work with their medical doctor to figure that out. I personally did take some disease modifying therapies early on in my diagnosis. And what I found was that not only did I continue to have multiple sclerosis events or exacerbations, they're called, but I had terrible, terrible side effects for the entire time. And it got worse and worse until I stopped taking the drugs and recognizing that it wasn't really the drugs they weren't helping me. And really their efficacy rates were so low that it wasn't worth the toxic side effects for me.
What was your break? You saw me trying quickly.
Yeah.
What was your breaking point that made you? Cause I asked because I had one of these where I had my breaking point with medicines, and I'm like, nope, there's something different out there. We're gonna go natural. We're gonna go from the earth. What was the point for you where all of a sudden you're like, nope, I got to do something else for myself?
So I was taking a drug called Copaxone, which is one of the earlier drugs that is still approved out there, disease modifying therapy it's called, to do MS. It is a daily subcutaneous injection. And you should know I have a huge needle phobia to begin with, but I overcame that and took this daily injection or performed this daily injection on myself every day for 3 years. And for 5 years, I did it. And for 3 of those 5 years, I had hives all over my entire body. And I would call the drug company and they'd say, it's not us. This isn't one of our known side effects. And I would look around and I tried everything. And that really was pushing me forward. Like, maybe it's toxins in my environment. Maybe it's my cleaning products. Maybe it's my laundry detergent. Maybe it's this. Maybe it's the Diet Coke. What is it? And it turned out it was a combination of all those things, but it was very much dictated by the drugs. And a good day was like 30 hives and a bad day was 300 hives. There were days my face was so distorted I couldn't leave the house. The hives were so bad. But that wasn't why I stopped. I would have continued on even if it was just the hives. I finally stopped because every time I injected myself every day, I started having seizures. And so I would start to seize before the needle was even out of my body, and the seizure would last up to 45 minutes. And it was just continuing, getting worse and worse. And I finally was like, you know what? My body is telling me this is not what it wants.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh my God. That must have been not only difficult to deal with in general, but then just planning your day. Like trying to get out and not knowing how long, especially if you know, all right, I'm going to be seizing because I have to take this medication. How long am I going to be doing
it was an injection. It wasn't something I was doing on the fly. So that always happened in my house.
Yeah. Wow. Oh, sorry. I thought you were going to say something, Brandon.
I thought so too, Brandon.
Yeah.
There was something earlier. Yeah, something earlier that came up. Oh, Brandon, about your CBD company, which I think is great. One of the issues I have with a lot of the CBD companies is the fact that they might make their products with unnatural things. So like the gummy bears have food dyes and artificial flavors and high fructose corn syrup. Look at you. Awesome. Yeah. So yes, I'm glad to learn that your company doesn't do that kind of things, because it really contaminates the good medicine that is in the CBD.
That was a big reason why he created the product that he did, because not only the issues with not knowing what was in it, but then also the issues of not knowing how much that you were getting. If you had an oil that said it was 200 milliliters on, you weren't sure if you were getting it in the entire bottle was 200 milliliters or if the dropper itself was 200 milliliters. So you want to make sure that each and every dose was exactly 15 milliliters of this odorless, colorless, tasteless powder that you can add into pretty much anything that you wanted to. It makes it discreet and versatile and then very easy to use. And it's nice because I know a lot of people who are really turned off by the thought of using any kind of CBD product just because they thought the oils were gross or they weren't sure exactly what they were getting, and they were worried about, like you said, there's the man in the tree, the unnatural ingredients into it. Or another thing too, there is a stigmatism around using CBD products. If you have like a gummy bear or a cookie or something that is just CBD and you eat that out in public, people think, oh, this person's getting high right now. Well, no, now you have in the discreet little package that you can just put in your coffee or on your salad or whatever, and nobody has any idea what it is. They just see, oh, this person has some kind of flavoring. They have some kind of vitamin they're using.
So I think that's very brave to do that out in the open, because I find when I eat an edible like that it takes a while to hit me. And then when it does, it's a little unpredictable in terms of I sometimes become like a zombie.
Yes.
And that's actually the reason my mom didn't do it, is she actually had somebody get her some gummies, and she literally was like a zombie on the couch. And I'm like, see, that's why you have to know what you're getting, and you have to know it. For me, I've owned a health food restaurant. I've seen how food benefits people. And I really wanted something to be different for people that can, life's hard enough. You don't need 20 different CBDs to choose from, lotions that have lidocaine in them that you're like, well, why do I need something that they use in surgery to help me with my pain? Like, why, like all these little things. And then I also looked at it and said, there's got to be a way that we can help people know that they can help take care of themselves that makes it even better, where you're knowing that everything about the product is compostable. So from seed all the way to consumption, you're not just finding your calm, your balance, and your delight. You're actually finding your way to keep yourself going and delighting the earth when you're done. And that's what I wanted to do, is really impact and create a community of people who believe they're meant to change the world. We can do it together. And that's what I wanted to do. I saw Sherry ask a question, and I made sure I met all legal regulations. So, Elizabeth, I would love to mail you a box after the show. Let's connect, because it's a full spectrum product. And Gavin, you did phenomenal, buddy. For real. Good job answering. He's heard me do it enough now. He's like answering for me. He almost did the tagline too. I saw it on the tip of his tongue. It's as easy as A, B, C, B, D. And my thing is, I love that she laughed. It's when you do CBD, a 15 milligram dose is honestly something for people like you to me. I'm a 210 pound man, and I think you're a beautiful young woman. So I don't want to guess your age. And any of that. And for that, being able to add this, and like 4th of July is coming up. And with 4th of July coming up, how many of our pets get anxiety for that? Imagine being able to open a pack, put it on your dog's food or water, and they're naturally calming down. My goal is to change the world, and hearing you talk about the holistic side is like right along with me. And what I do, I focus on truly being able to use. I don't know if you saw us working out before this. We want to be able to provide
in the pajama pants. Yes.
He's in pajama pants, and I hiked up my shorts and my underwear to be all dorky. Usually I'm in a onesie, but it's like today's.
Usually I'm dressed as Spider-Man, but today it was a nice, relaxed day.
Now, I say all of that because I don't want to push my company. I like that you're about those things. It shows that you're about finding new opportunities for yourself. Being an individual who's gone through, and I did sign up myself, just so you know. I use Brett when we're live on air, but I did myself before that. But for everything you do, how do you keep yourself balanced with that? There's a lot of anxiety having MS, from eating properly to, see, he leaves and I have a chainsaw going outside the window. But from eating to just every day, like if you all of a sudden have all these hives and you're breaking out or you're going to have a seizure, that's a huge anxiety that gets added into your day that like nobody really wants to, you're not sure how to handle that. How did you keep yourself going, Elizabeth, to make sure you're able to put your best foot forwards just for you?
Well, again, it's been now 15, 17 years since all of that was going on in my life. And I remind myself constantly, why do I do this? Why do I not eat things that I know might cause me to have problems? And it's because I want to stay out of that wheelchair, and I really want to keep my body functional. And I know that if I eat those gummy bears or that candy bar or even that salad, I am not going to be able to be as functional as I want to be. And I like to ski, I like to dance, I like to ride my bike, all sorts of things. Garden.
Gardening. All right, gardening. I'm going to switch topics just for this.
Okay.
I believe everybody should have a garden. And this is just my personal opinion. And it's because when you set it up in the backyard or if you're in an apartment, you set it up out back and all that, you set it up somewhere, that small little thing, right when you see your tomato go, and I hate tomatoes, but you see it pop, you see the peppers pop and all that, you see your cucumbers getting bigger, watermelons, it makes you appreciate your food in a totally different way. And have you noticed when you started your garden how the food even tasted different? Did you notice anything different about you with gardening and the food connecting with one another?
Well, going back to my cookbook, that was part of my impetus when I started to write my cookbook. Was we had a lot of vegetables and herbs and things that were being harvested from our very first garden in our first house, and I didn't know what to do with them. And so, as I was saying before, we only had these 3 channels on our TV, and we were watching this late night infomercial, and the guy says, look, I can make your whole meal in this one countertop appliance. And he takes dried rice and a can of tomatoes, and he puts it into the bottom of this appliance, and then he puts a metal grate on the top, like a barbecue grill type grate, and then he puts chicken breast on top of that, and then another grate, and then brownies on top of that, covers the whole thing with a dome, plugs it in, turns it on. And I thought, wow, that is brilliant. I don't have one of those countertop appliances. I don't have any of those barbecue grill type grates, and I don't really care about the brownies. But what I did have was we had just received a little cast iron Dutch oven like this one as a wedding gift. And I went over and I thought, I'm just going to take kind of the idea that this guy did and layer my food in, but without any like actual physical separation of the layers. And I went over and I put in like frozen fish fillets and some vegetables I had from my garden and some fresh herbs. And literally, I thought, well, I bet that countertop appliance gets pretty hot. So I cranked up my oven to 450 degrees, which is way hotter than anybody would ever tell you to cook fish in. But I didn't know how to cook, so I didn't know what to do. And I put the lid on it and put it in the oven, and about half an hour, it just smelled like dinner. And that was just the way we started cooking. And so this is my cookbook that teaches that method of cooking called Glorious One Pot Meals.
I love it. I'm going to go to your website, pull it up to give everybody a chance to go there and purchase a book. Do you prefer your website or Amazon? Because I know a lot of people keep telling me to go to send their people to Amazon.
Amazon works just fine. They're faster and cheaper than I am. But if you would like a signed copy, then my website's the place to go.
Ooh, see, now I want a signed copy. I think I'm going to have to do that just for me now. Guys, here is that link to be able to share. Go get your copy today. Go subscribe to her YouTube network. It's very easy through it. I've already clicked on things. Guys, this is a lot of fun. I even see you have an Instagram. I'm follow. Oh, it claimed back that you're not there right this second. So I'm going to refollow it. Boom. Oh. There we go. Follow. Sometimes the internet hates me. Now, with being a individual who has such I don't want to say unique, but like such a heavy disease, and you're able to put a smile on your face every day. With your cookbook, what would be something you would say everybody needs to cook? Everybody needs to try this one recipe of yours in your cookbook. Give me your favorite one.
So the beauty of my cookbook is that every single recipe is completely adaptable. So every protein can be swapped for every protein, every carb for every carb, every veggie for every veggie, every flavor for every other flavor. So really, I look at the recipes as more inspiration. And if you read through the beginning of the cookbook, you'll learn I don't actually expect you to make it necessarily perfectly as written. I want you to go to your fridge and to your freezer and to your pantry and see what you have and what you like, what your family likes to eat, what's safe for you to eat, and make your glorious one pot meal out of that. But if you want to, if you're asking me what is the most popular recipe in the cookbook, it may be glorious mac and cheese.
Oh, wait a minute. Tell me about this, because we just did, Gavin and I on Sunday, we did the mac and cheese throwdown of Cleveland. And we had the best, they had a bunch of restaurants competing. They had the Cleveland Clinic Hospital.
Oh, this is like a real thing. It wasn't just the two of you.
No, it was literally.
No, this was an actual event.
Yep, whole bunch of people. They had a couple thousand people there going around table to table, sampling mac and cheeses, and then voting through text message who had the best mac and cheese. And I think they have individual competitors come out and try to win as well, and they have to have their own twist on it. Man, all right, what separates your mac and cheese? Because now I'm going to have to order your cookbook just to make this mac and cheese.
So it's super easy to make. You can use regular noodles, like macaroni style noodles, or you can use like a wheat alternative, like a rice noodle or anything like that, because Glorious One Pot Meals accept everything. And it uses real cheese, but of course you can do non-dairy cheese, or what I would do would be goat cheese for myself, because I don't do cow's milk. And then a ton of vegetables in it. So it's a great way to get kids to really eat veggies and make the whole thing really enjoyable and fresh. It's a great alternative to like Kraft mac and cheese.
Oh, man, that sounds so good. Gavin, if I order her book
Yes.
and have it sent to your house,
Yes.
would you make me some?
Yes. I already answered your question. Stop asking it.
I'm just saying, like, oh, man.
Now you need a cast iron Dutch oven. Do you have one?
I can get one.
This,
Where do
I
you
think,
get
is the must-have utensil for any kitchen. It is, once you have one, you're like, how did I ever live without this?
Yeah.
And this is actually a 1 quart size, but a 2 quart size is a perfect size for 2 people. It depends on how big your family is. When I wrote this cookbook, it was just myself and my husband. And in fact, I had a lot of pushback from publishers saying, well, you need to translate everything to feed 4 or 6 people for every recipe. And I thought that is ridiculous. There's a ton of people out there who don't live with 4 or 5 people and don't want to eat leftovers for the next week and just want to cook for 1 or 2 people. And so I make it really easy to do in my cookbook.
Would a crock pot also suffice?
So a crock pot is for slow, long cooking.
Okay.
And it's different. Cast iron has unique heat conduction properties. If you remember way back to physical science in high school, that make it, or that enable it to cook the food differently than any other type of material.
Yeah.
So really a crock pot, I mean, you can kind of fake it, but you won't have dinner in half an hour, 45 minutes like you will in this.
All right. Fair enough.
If you have an Instapot, that's more along the lines. You could try it with an Instapot. A lot of my recipes you can try with an Instapot.
Nice.
If Gavin and I were to have like a cook-off and we have the same supplies, all right, and we video it and he uses it in the Dutch oven and I use it in the Instapot, we need to have this competition just to like see the difference. Would you
Please invite me? Can I come to this?
Absolutely, absolutely. We're going to be in Vegas in a couple weeks. Maybe we just have to bring it with us, and pick up the supplies along the way.
I could come meet you in Vegas. It's not far from me. And let me tell you, I've traveled many times with cast iron Dutch ovens. I don't know what TSA thinks about my luggage, but sometimes it's really heavy.
Well, Gavin and I are actually going to drive from Ohio to Las Vegas.
You may pass right by.
We may have to make sure that we make a stop on the way there or back, because we chose to drive not just because it was cheaper for a few things, but also because it gives us a chance to actually connect in a different way and be able to like take pictures along the way and really see our country and have 2 days of pure finding the joy of what we're doing and why our country is amazing. And we're driving out there because Delight's won 3 international healthcare awards and a digital platform award because of being outside the box thinking and different. And we're the first. Thank you. We're the first CBD company to win that. And this platform here is meant to be able to help build that conversation up for people. So you're perfect for exactly who I love your energy. I love what you bring to the table. As a chef, I know there's people who we have some vegans that watch the show and they're always looking for new ways to do stuff. And you're showing multiple ways with a lot of really cool, unique things. So keep being you. Guys, I'm going to put this in here again. Do not skip this opportunity. Buy it from her website. And Elizabeth said she will autograph those copies. Gavin, hope you know I'm buying one and having it mailed to your house. Like, awesome. For real.
Awesome.
And then you and I are having a cook-off. Maybe we just do the cook-off at Elizabeth's house. Do you have a Instapot?
Come. I actually do not have an Instapot, though. Can you bring it with you? Throw it in your car.
Oh, yeah, we can pack it.
Easy. Simple.
I've got about 15 cast iron Dutch ovens or so, but I don't have an Instapot.
What? Okay, why the Dutch oven? I have to ask. You said it cooks differently, but there's something more there. What makes you connect with your Dutch ovens to make you cook have that many different kinds? What do they do that's even different?
Well, first of all, I teach for the last 20 years. I've taught Glorious One Pot Meals classes. And I often teach a class where we divide up into teams and create recipes, and then all cook them together and then have a feast at the end. So I have to have enough Dutch ovens to be able to do that.
That's
Gotcha.
cool. That's
That
cool.
makes sense.
Gavin, would you want to go to one of her classes and
Yes.
like I don't even have to finish that. Elizabeth's like,
I'm
yeah,
a very agreeable person, you know. If you give me an opportunity and I don't think that it will mess up my life, I'll do it.
Well, at this point, I could give you a class on video because I haven't taught any classes live since well before the pandemic, I would say.
So maybe that's something Gavin and I need to do.
Yeah.
Gavin, you're going to have to get a Dutch oven. I have the Instapot, and then Elizabeth will get all the supplies. And then
Come
Elizabeth
through Denver and let's plan it, and I'll host it at my house.
Would you
guys can
mind
even stay
taking
here if
me
you
to a
want.
dispensary? Oh, I love you. You are so sweet. Would you mind if I went to a dispensary? Because Ohio is not legal unless you have a medical card.
Oh my
I
gosh,
do.
I'll take you on a little tour of my favorite dispensaries.
Guys, I think I found my future soulmate. Like, she's married, but it's okay. She's amazing. How long have you been married? I missed that part.
I got married in 1999.
So 22 years.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
22 years, like in a month, I guess, is my anniversary.
When is your
A month from
anniversary?
today.
Now I'm putting a month from today?
July 10th. What day is today?
The 9th. Today is the 9th.
A month from tomorrow.
That is so cool. Sorry, he just turned the chainsaw back on, and I kind of want to show you guys because this is the angle where he's literally shooting chainsaw wood straight at me from the tree. So this is the coolest
Can I
angle.
tell you something?
Yeah.
I am going to Boston in a week to a memorial service to a dear, dear friend who died from cutting down his tree. The tree fell on his head.
No. I am so sorry.
Oh my.
I know.
Talk about.
So I'm glad you hired a professional and are not trying to do this yourself.
Yeah.
No,
Like
honestly,
he did.
that is. Oh my God, I'm so sorry for your loss. But like my dad wanted me to try to cut this down, and I'm like, no. Like, why would I do that? Like,
I'm glad he didn't ask me because I would have said yeah. I'd be like, all right, sure, I'll figure it out.
This guy has to know I'm videoing
It's a
him.
very, very dangerous occupation to cut down trees.
Yeah,
Yes.
I have quite a handful of friends who do that as an occupation. They love it. They get their gear on and they just climb up there and put in earbuds and just rock out, just chopping down trees.
He thought he had it all figured out.
Yeah,
I agree. You got to be cautious with these. You got to be careful. I am so sorry for your loss, but yeah, hire a professional. Like, This is much better because I can't even show you how big their trucks are they have. Like, these guys are hanging from like a scaffolding, and I'm sitting there going, how the hell did they even get that over this tree? It's pretty amazing. So, Elizabeth, I am on your website. I'm going to purchase a book right after the show. I want you to know how excited I am to try your cookbook and literally compete versus Gavin. We will be bringing a camera with us. We will be driving through. We're planning our trips and our drive out there. And man, I'm excited to meet you now. I think we're going to have to make a stop over to you. We're going to have a three-way cook-off, like you versus the two of us, and all of us have to figure it out. Would you agree?
I will supply. I will supply the Dutch ovens.
All right.
And we're going to stop along the way and get food that's in the cookbook, so that way we're like picking it up for all of us to cook. I think that's going to be fun. Guys, pick up Elizabeth's cookbook. Join our competition. Maybe Gavin and I make this like a thing where we challenge everybody. So if you have a Dutch oven, get ready, order Elizabeth's cookbook online, and enjoy and compete with Gavin and I on how to make the best Dutch oven meals. You can say the name of your book again so I don't screw it up because I'm notoriously good at messing people up.
Yep, and let me offer some things too as well. So the cookbook is called Glorious, like hallelujah glorious, not Gloria. Glorious One Pot Meals. And if you go to gloriousonePotmeals.com, you can find out more there as well. But if you go to bit.ly, bit.ly/EY Pantry, PANTRY, you can get a free ultimate checklist for stocking your freezer and your pantry with food so that you can whip together a glorious one pot meal any night of the week without even having any fresh food in your house.
What? All right, say that link one more time so I can type it in here for everybody.
It's bit.ly, bit.ly/EY Pantry, PANTRY, all lowercase.
Boom. Does that look right? Oh, I think we lost her.
There we go. Yes.
Yeah, there she is. She's back.
I love it. All right. So
That's
the
it.
way we end every show is we actually have a positive affirmation. We do a positive self-talk for everybody. It's meant to be, today's Wednesday, so it's Hemp Day / Hump Day. We want to help everybody find their calm in life while humping it out. And that's what we try to do here by getting everybody through that part of the week. And Gavin is going to lead us off today with that positive affirmation. Then I will give one, and then you get to take us out for the end of the show. And then after, hang out with us for a minute so we can exchange information.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So, what I like to say today is what I said probably about 10 minutes ago. Say yes in life. Be flexible and be agreeable. You know, when opportunity comes to you, as long as you know if you know that it's not going to have some crazy negative input on your life, then most definitely say yes. And if you think that it might have some sort of negative input on your life, but that there is also a greater or equal reward to it, say yes too sometimes. Take those risks, because you never know what kind of great experiences will come from that, what kind of lessons will come if it isn't a great experience. Say yes to things in life. You know, you'll lead a much more exciting one.
Well said, buddy. Well said. At the same time, when you're saying yes in life and when you're making sure you're doing those things, realize that you can't have everything in life be planned out. Today has been a perfect example of that. And I literally am just grateful that I have a team of people that were willing to jump in, help make this happen, from Joe's tooth breaking to a random truck pulling in the driveway to cut down trees. You never know what life's going to give you. But when you say yes and you put your best energy forwards, guess what? You're going to get good energy back. So this was a phenomenal interview. I'm sorry I had to run around at the beginning, but I look forward to getting into a cookbook challenge with Miss Elizabeth and Mr. Gavin Kerr. Guys, tune in soon. Miss Elizabeth, it is your turn.
So what I would like to leave everyone with is that you'll never get there if you don't start. And just go step by step. One of my favorite mottos is from Finding Nemo. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Going forward, that's how we get there.
Just keep swimming.
Yes, there you go.
Keep swimming. I think that's absolutely awesome, because the truth is, I had a Finding Nemo. This is how old I am when it was on DVD. The grocery store had a cardboard cutout that moved with the shark going behind Nemo. I was in college, so let me preface that, but we might have finished grocery shopping, and my friends, I'm in the car, and I'm like, where'd they go? They're like, they come running out the door, and they're like, we gotta go, and I'm like, okay, and they throw this huge Nemo thing in the back of my car. Now, truth be told, I had nothing in my apartment. I was sleeping on like beds and stuff, nothing, or not even a bed, blankets and stuff. So they were helping me decorate my apartment, but Finding Nemo was one of my first actual like things in my own apartment. It was a huge cardboard cutout. I wish I had it today. But Elizabeth, thank you so much again for everything today. And Gavin, you're going down, buddy. Like when we get to her house in Colorado, I'll even go hit the dispensaries with her beforehand. That way you have a head start on me. All right. So
we could have a Zen cook-off, right? Very chill.
I feel like if you're high, you have an unfair advantage. You have like this new creative perspective. People make weird food when they're high. You know.
You mean like ice cream with mac and cheese?
Yeah, or like deep fried chicken with peanut butter.
No, that is so good. Sorry.
See what I'm telling you about?
Have you had chicken and waffles?
I love chicken and waffles. That's a common thing, though.
Yeah, it's the same thing. The sweetness comes from the peanut butter at 7. All right, guys, this is the end of our show. Make sure to go give Elizabeth a follow. Remember, Joe's sick, so F Brett today. All your problems go on him. Do not take them on yourself. And then make sure you're building your best you. Right, Gavin?
Yeah.
Thank you, gentlemen. So nice to meet you all.
Thank you so much.
Take care, love.
Have a great one, guys.